Coach, I don't know if I can make it, man. My ribs.
That bad, huh?
Oh, it's bad.
Okay, next man up. Go. Happy Jeff Sims Day. Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always on these marvelous shows by the one, the only Jedi himself. That is Erik Ruby.
Ayo.
We have Captain Redbeard behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. Guys, do us a solid. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. BCR80 in the chat. Short Bus. List Smart AZ saying next man up. Champs, what's up, boys? How are you? We are doing good. We will get to the news of the day that Jeff Sims is set to start for your Arizona State Sun Devils with Sam Leavitt out with an injury. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that Arizona State offense now going up against that Cincinnati defense. That is what's on the menu for today's show. But of course, the news broke this morning. Kenny Dillingham announcing after practice that Sam Leavitt would be out, set to be out potentially anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks while recovering from his injury that he sustained against Utah. Jeff Sims is that guy, Erik.
Whew. Short Bus in the chat says, I better not go Chicken Little about this, which means the sky is falling. And I'll tell you, I'm not. I am weirdly calm and somewhat confident about Saturday. Now, that is more because of Cam Skattebo than it is Jeff Sims, but I don't think the sky is falling.
Well, that's good.
I don't. Especially because there are certain things about Jeff Sims' game, and we'll get into it, that actually play well against the Cincinnati defense.
Correct.
And last week showed that the backups are quite prepared when they need to step up.
Yeah.
Now, I think we have a worse chance of winning this game without Sam Leavitt.
I wouldn't even use the word worse. I would just say lesser.
Lesser chance. Same thing.
No.
Weird.
No.
Weird.
No. Best chance, more of a chance.
They have less of a chance. They have less of a chance of winning this game with Jeff Sims back there. But it's not impossible. The line's gotten bigger. Cincinnati was already favored. It's a tough game already, but are you with me? Do you feel strangely calm and confident?
Yeah, I stand with my brother.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
We're sitting though.
I sit with my brother.
There we go.
As it relates to Jeff Sims, I've gotten a couple people texting and asking me how I feel about the situation. I think there are a lot of Big 12 teams that their defenses would present some serious challenges to Arizona State's offense with Jeff Sims at quarterback. I don't think that's the case, though, against Cincinnati, to be quite frank with you. Cincinnati's run defense ranks in the bottom 3 of the Big 12. You know that's already going to play a factor with Cam Skattebo, and it's going to play a factor with Jeff Sims at quarterback. You look even just back to last week, UCF, they obviously lost in wow, I'm having a stroke there. Lost to Cincinnati 19-13. Ja'Curry Brown got the start for the Knights. True freshman quarterback. He rushed 16 times for 84 yards against that Cincinnati defense, on top of RJ Harvey nearly eclipsing 100 as well. So this defense in Cincinnati, they give up big chunk plays on the ground. And they do so with that 3-3-5, right? You saw it a little bit against Mississippi State, at least in terms of running a 3-man front. I'm interested to see how the Bearcats really utilize the box with Jeff Sims being in the lineup as opposed to Sam Leavitt, a more traditional pocket passer who can move. Whereas Jeff Sims, he is a little bit more of a dual threat athlete, more so even than Sam Leavitt.
Which is interesting because for a period of time, and maybe even still, you could argue that Sam's biggest ability was the mobility.
Correct.
And his ability to make a big run and to save a big play. It even happened last game where he would roll out of the pocket and would pick up a massive first down or a massive chunk of yards just because he's able to do so. And I think this is a little bit different than the UCF situation because Jeff Sims has played a lot of college football.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of that has seen its faults. Of course, the turnovers coming into play. And this is a game where, in every game, you need to limit turnovers. Yeah. You can't be throwing interceptions. You can't be fumbling the ball, right? And Jeff Sims is more prone to do that than a Sam Leavitt. But he's played. And he's played in some big spots before. Yeah. He's played a lot.
Started a lot.
He started a lot. So you're not in the same situation as UCF where you're bringing in a freshman coming off of the bench who hasn't played a lick of college football before, right?
Yeah.
And you saw with Sam Leavitt, I mean, his passing attack has gotten better throughout the weeks, but ASU has won multiple games while not having like a super
they don't need to throw the football to win.
Offense.
No, they don't need to throw the football to win. I mean, Arizona State, their recipe for success is controlling the clock, controlling time of possession, winning the middle eight, which, again, for those of you that don't know, it's the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half, and really just beating you up for 4 quarters with a stable of running backs, most notably Cam Skattebo. You mentioned Jeff Sims playing a lot of college football. He got in the game last week against Utah, obviously, with Sam Leavitt going down with an injury. So for those of you that don't remember, this is the hit that ultimately led to Sam Leavitt having to go to the sideline and then going to the locker room as well. So goes down. It is a rib injury. We'll leave it at that.
He's tough.
He is coming back in the game. And again, the 2 to 4 week evaluation kind of sits perfectly with where Arizona State is at. If you can get through this week, you'd be 6-1. And then you have an entire week of the bye week. And then you have another week, in theory, prepping for Oklahoma State. I think, and this is, again, I'm not a doctor.
What?
I'm not a doctor.
Really?
Just yeah. Big reveal.
Why do I always ask you for medical advice?
Big reveal. Yeah. I don't know. But
and why do you answer?
I figured after the third time that you just kind of play along with it. You know?
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to make
You've
some
been
calls.
asking for prescriptions, dude, and I have not been able to like fill them. I don't know why. I don't know why you think that I've been able to do that.
I love how you just go to, I've been asking for prescriptions.
But again, fitting that time frame, you get through this week, and then you have a bye week, and then you get a week of prep. I would take a guess, assuming nothing escalates, that this would be the only game that he would miss.
You hope.
Which would be a perfect scenario.
But they left that door open, and they could do that for a couple different reasons.
They absolutely did.
They could do that because maybe this is an injury that you don't know what it's going to look like 2 weeks from now until you get to a week from now, or Kenny Dillingham taking a page out of the Kyle Whittingham book of tricks and trickery.
The books of tricks. Well,
almost.
The books of tricks and tricks. What did you say?
I don't know.
What did you say,
I don't know,
dude?
I don't know. But what I'm saying is maybe they're leaving that door open so that when you go and you play in Oklahoma State, there's that, hey, who's going to play, Sims or Leavitt, right? And if Sims wins this game and then they have a whole bye week to prepare with Sims, there's a lot of confidence then going forward. And I guarantee you that Kenny has been thinking this entire season, what if Jeff Sims has to play, right? Any smart coach does.
Gets to play.
We
get to watch Jeff Sims.
We get to watch Jeff Sims.
We don't have to watch Jeff Sims.
But if Sims is able to be utilized correctly, which, I mean, granted, he didn't get a ton of playing time against Utah, but when he played, it wasn't throwing the ball, but they scored. They were effective. Like, it worked.
You're right.
Right? Against a better defense than what you're going to see in Cincinnati. But now Cincinnati is preparing for Jeff Sims, which there's no tape on him this season, but there's a lot of tape on him from seasons before. So it's really interesting to see this kind of like this chess match that might be going on now as far as game planning goes. Because like Leavitt's out, Sims is in. Sims hasn't played this season, but he's played a lot before. There's a lot more tape on Jeff Sims than there is on Sam Leavitt.
Yeah.
Right? But
overall, yeah.
But not in Kenny Dillingham's system. Not this year.
Well, there is one. There is at least one touchdown.
There is one touchdown on the record book.
Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at that Jeff Sims touchdown from last week.
Stared him down.
He's
Love the
so
confidence.
fast, dude.
Love the confidence. B, I was going to say something I totally forgot. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Completely blanked.
Yeah, you were
I was like,
ready
I'll
to
take
go,
this.
dude.
I'll
You're
take
like,
this. I'll come out
I
of
forgot.
This. Yeah, and I just completely forgot.
Well, look, I want to see a lot of that. I want to see a lot of running the football with Jeff Sims because, again, the way that this Cincinnati defense has been built with that 3-3-5, the way that they've allowed opposing running backs and quarterbacks to run all over them really for 6 games, despite still having a 4-2 record, I think it really does play well into what Arizona State does offensively with the Levin announcement and Jeff Sims getting the nod to start. The line for that game, I did see move to about 6.5 in favor of Cincinnati, which still feels like if it were me, I'm slamming it, but that's just me. Arizona State overall has lost 1 game this season. They lost to Tech by 8 points
on the road, and they shot themselves in the foot.
If Jeff Sims takes care of the football, and if he takes care of the football, and you just run the game plan, not even the game plan, the way that Arizona State has won games this season is what we said: control the clock and run the football, and that's all Jeff Sims has to do.
Yeah,
control the clock, run the football. And you could still very easily win this game.
More than any other game this season, playing with a lead is so important.
Yeah.
Because it's a weird game at a weird time. You're not going to be used to playing in this temperature or at this time of the day. But running the clock out is going to be inevitable with ASU because they're going to run the ball a ton.
Yeah.
So playing with the lead is almost a necessity because with this, high-powered air raid offense, basically, with Cincinnati, where they have a bunch of different weapons at receiver, and a bunch of them have touchdowns and 100 yards plus on the season, and you don't know where it's going. You can't fall behind because you're simply going to eat too much clock away. Because you can't just sit back and say, okay, now we're going to rely on Jeff Sims to take deep shots.
Yeah, you can't get behind early in this game.
No, you can't. You need to get that confidence going. You saw how excited the guys were when Sims scored that touchdown that we just showed you. I mean, he's been a really, I would say like a pro, but a fantastic teammate in rooting Sam Leavitt on and being just there for his guys and a good leader, especially somebody, in his position where I'm sure there is a school that would have had Jeff Sims start at quarterback this year. For all the faults and for all the things that people say about him,
People 100% hate that guy, dude. People give him so much grief.
He could 100% be playing somewhere in college football right now.
Yeah.
And he decided to be here, and he decided that it's okay that he's a backup, and knowing that maybe his time comes and staying prepared. And I will say, if you missed a couple of weeks ago, I think almost like a month or so ago, Jeff Sims was on Headspace with Cole Martin.
Oh yeah,
the podcast that we do with Cole here that comes out every couple of weeks. I believe there is going to be a Headspace coming out tonight, so keep your eye out for that.
Ooh,
but he was on there and he talked about his journey and his preparation and everything. So I'd highly recommend that before Saturday, you guys go and you check that out. That's going to be on our page.
Plug.
Yeah, find the Headspace playlist or just look up Headspace with Jeff Sims. So just want to put that out there.
Good stuff from Rubus over here. Look, the sky is not falling. Okay. And look, I've got a point to make. For everybody that thinks that Arizona State doesn't have a chance on Saturday because Jeff Sims is starting at quarterback. I'm going to make that point, but I'm going to do it on the other side of this break. Guys, I don't know what you're doing with your weekend. If you're watching the Arizona State game at 9 o'clock in the morning, it'll be over before 12:30. Then you got the rest of the day. Why not go spend the rest of the day over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, because nobody does it better. Personal favorite, Wild Horse Pass. Just go take the 10 all the way to Wild Horse Pass. Hang out, win some money. They got plenty of ways for you guys to win big. You can go all in with over 4,500 slots and live table games, or catch all the action at any of their sports books. Maybe that's where you bet on Arizona State to get the dub. Just going to say, maybe that's how you do it. And also be on the lookout because we're going to be hosting events over at Gila River Resorts and Casinos all year, including cards and Suns watch parties and more. So stay tuned for info on how you guys can come hang out with us. Remember, you do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details.
My friends over at Desert Financial Credit Union want to give you $200, but I'll get to that in just a second. Because for more than 84 years, DFCU has been Arizona's largest and most trusted local credit union, and they are dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community. I am part of that community. You are part of that community. They are here for everything: your basics, your checkings, your savings accounts, but then your mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. Desert Financial has been in my family for multiple generations. My grandparents were actually one of the first adopters of then Desert Schools, as my grandmother was an educator and Desert Schools was just for educators. Passed it down to my dad and now me. Literal generations with Desert Financial, and we have never had a single problem. So now's the time. Show your ASU team spirit. You've got 3 different Visa debit cards you can choose from with ASU decals on it. Plus, you get $200 when you open up a free checking account online. Just go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started.
Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Clint in the chat, Big Dilly, huge opportunity to look like a genius. Cade, we'll get to your comment a little bit later on in the show. I think we even addressed it yesterday. And then Ralph in the chat, Cincy is terrible on defense, but if we try and throw for the first time all season, we deserve to get wrecked. Absolutely. I don't think that you need to go out there and be a mad scientist this week. I really don't. I think you stick to what has worked for you all season long. You just do it with a different quarterback who can move much, much quicker than Sam Leavitt, and that's not taking anything away from Sam. Sam's an athlete. He's like an athletic quarterback. Jeff is far quicker than Sam. And I think for me, the point that I wanted to make for those of you that don't think that Arizona State can win this game is you go back to last season. You go look at the 3 games that Arizona State did find ways to win and how impressive those victories were, specifically that UCLA game, a UCLA team that I believe was ranked at that time. And you did it on the road and you ran the swinging gate the entire time. That is how you win, is you've got a football coach that knows and understands football. He understands a defensive weakness and can try and alter it into an offensive strength for your team. And it just so happens that you don't need to rewrite the menu here. You just don't. Because Cincinnati, like Ralph said, is terrible on defense. They're bad at stopping the run. What does Arizona State do really well, Erik?
Oh, well, they run the ball.
They run the football. Cam Skattebo is 5th nationally. If there was ever a time for me to put money on Cam Skattebo to be the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, it'd be this week.
Well, guess what? He's already done it.
He's done it 3 times, man.
We're looking at a dynasty here at this point.
I mean, am I wrong? I feel like I'm not wrong here.
No, you're not. You're not wrong. Part of your point with Kenny and last year, Mr. Positivity, Mr. Spin Zone. Is that what I called myself?
Yeah, you're Mr. Spin Zone.
I am Mr. Spin Zone. Sometimes you got to go through the mud. Sometimes you got to get through the rough times to get to the good times. And right now you're in the good times. But sometimes, lots of times, that good stuff doesn't last forever. You hit adversity. You hit road bumps. And what you do is...
Are you saying all good things comes to an end?
Sometimes. Wow. Not the PHNX Sun Devils show.
Make me cry. Well,
but... Yeah, no.
Come on, buddy.
No, but what I'm saying is last season sucked. Last season was really bad. Last season was not a good time at all. However, you found a way to win when everything was stacked against you, when you didn't have a quarterback, when you didn't have an offensive line, when you didn't have a kicker. Like you found a way to win games still. Right? You learned that.
That's what football's about.
And this team, top to bottom, Sam Leavitt or no Sam Leavitt, is a better football team than last year. This coaching staff is a better coaching staff, either from improvement within or from external additions of Marcus Arroyo than you were last year.
Yeah.
Right? So you draw on that ability to know that we can go in even when we're down somebody and win. Hell, you look at last week. Keyshawn Elliott, Clayton Smith, gone for the first half against the 16th ranked team in the nation. and you have somebody step up in Caleb McCullough and they shine and they win.
Yeah.
Right? This team knows how to win games better now. And so they're in a position where if you give the ball to Scat to throw, to run, you give the ball to Jeff Sims to throw, to run, you know how to game plan. You know what the type of mentality is to say, odds stacked against us, back against the wall, on the road, down our starting quarterback. We can still win this game because we have established that identity.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important that we've seen how they have won so far this season. None of it's been through playing perfect football. None of it. So why can't they win this week?
I think they can.
They can always find a way. They've always found a way.
Well, not against Tech, but
you know what I mean.
Ben, I don't understand your comment. If you could just try again.
More than Skattebo on 2. Probably more running backs than just Cam is probably what I would assume he's asking.
I don't want to assume. You know what happens when you assume.
No, I don't. Tell me.
No, I can't. I can't tell you, actually. But you know what happens. Everybody knows what happens. Are we crazy? Because let's look. We talk a lot about Arizona State, and I feel like we can sometimes fall into the trap, right? We can sometimes fall into the Kool-Aid jar, and just drown in it. Because I feel like this team is 5-1 right now. We've just been told that the starting quarterback is not going to play, and we haven't flinched or bat an eye at all. We're like, yeah, doesn't matter. We're awesome. We're like, that's. Am I wrong?
It matters. No, it matters. It matters. It for sure matters. I don't think either of us are saying that nothing has changed. It gets harder to win this game. I think what it speaks to is the fact that we have confidence in this coaching staff and that we have confidence in this team to a level that I don't even think that we would have expected to have at this point this season.
Absolutely not.
Right? So I think we are both aware, at least I'm aware. I can't speak for you. Maybe
you can't speak for my awareness.
Maybe you are insane. I don't know. I think we're both aware of the fact that like this game could go sideways for ASU. It's 100% more.
So how
on
does
the
this
table.
go sideways? Let's do that dance.
Since his run defense actually steps up.
I don't think that's a possibility.
You're asking me what would have to happen. I'm telling you though. Jeff Sims would have to turn the ball over a ton, and Cincinnati's offense would just be too much to handle. That's it.
That's it.
Your secondary struggles to contain Cincinnati. You can't get your run game in a rhythm, and Jeff Sims turns the ball over. That is the easiest recipe for an ASU loss.
Short Bus in the chat. They've proven they can do next man up. They have proven they can do next man up, but I don't know if they've proven they can do next man up at quarterback. That's a tough thing to do.
I mean, in a very, 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 very small sample size against Utah.
The smallest sample size that you could.
They did. They scored.
They were already in the red zone.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing
and
with you.
And I'm not saying that they can't. I'm just saying, again, I agree with you. They have done a next man up. And I do think this is a possible game where Arizona State can win and go to 6-1. I'm just saying, I think maybe we're talking about it a little bit too lightly because quarterback is a difficult position. It is a wildly different position to do next man up than linebacker, than defensive end, than wherever. So it is certainly going to be a little bit of a difference. And Kyle in the chat, all about the other side of the ball this week, need defensive points. That's a good point. It would go a long way if your defense could play the way they did against Wyoming in first half against Mississippi State. If you can go out there and get that defense that was a top unit in the nation scoring touchdowns week over week over week, then that is going to go a long, long way. You absolutely can't. You gave a recipe for this game to be a loss. The recipe for Arizona State to lose and go to 5-2 is you turn it over early, and Cincinnati steps on the gas the same way that Tech did to start. Because I don't think that you can go out there and trail by 14 points and go out there and win this game. It's certainly a possibility. I don't like your chances. I think you have to play this game from start to finish of we're playing at a drive at a time. We're playing our brand of football. We're going to hand it to Scat. Scat needs to touch the ball 4 times a drive. If there's a first down, Scat needs to touch the ball 4 times a drive.
There's no easing Scat into this game.
I don't think so.
No, you're going to have to go to him off the rip. You can't play that. Oh, we're going to save him for the 4th. Not this game. Not this game.
Maybe to Carlos. I'd love to see more to Carlos, but
you're going to.
You're probably not seeing Raleek Brown again this week.
No.
So
and he hasn't.
Kyson Brown and Carlos Brooks.
I haven't even seen Kyson really.
Yeah, I mean, you see him a little bit.
But not anywhere.
I want to see DeCarlos. I'll give you a
You will.
I'll give you
I
a
think
tease.
you will. I think you will.
Carlos Brooks is going to be on my heat index on Friday.
There you go.
I'm gonna put that out there now, because if you need somebody to go out there and have a big game, not named Cam Skattebo, it's the second running back. It's the guy that's going to get carries in the first and second quarter to try and keep Scat fresh. Well, how do you allow Scat to stay fresh? You have to extend those drives early on, and you have to score points. If Arizona State's not moving the football early, if they can't run the ball on a three-man front, then you're going to have a problem, because then Scat is going to need to play earlier than you'd like. And, of course, he's going to play early, but I'm saying get more carries earlier than you would like him to, and you won't be able to have a fresh Scat for the fourth quarter. And again, I think whether that be DeCarlos, I think Jeff Sims being able to utilize his legs in the read option game, some RPO actions, I would love to see that. I think that would be a phenomenal way for Arizona State offensively to just get Jeff Sims into a rhythm. You see it with older quarterbacks, you see it with younger quarterbacks. You try and get your quarterback into a rhythm early. For a quarterback that struggles at times, maybe throwing the football down the field, or a quarterback that turns it over a lot, easy ways, screens, quick routes, RPO actions, and being able to run the RPOs with a guy that has the legs that Jeff Sims does feeds into this beautifully. If your options are, hey, I'm reading the end and I can hand it to Scat, right? Or if that's not there and the end is crashing down and the DB is sitting in zone or whatever, and he starts to drop back, okay, I'm throwing it to Tyson in the flat. Boom, we've got a blocker. I'm running that first drive. RPO, run. RPO, run. RPO, pass. Like, that's what it should be to get Jeff Sims into a rhythm, get acclimated to the Cincinnati defense the same way that we were talking about early on in the season. You got to get Sam Leavitt into a rhythm.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like I'm confident, is because Leavitt and Sims they're not super far off in kind of how they play, where they're not the most reliable passer and they're very athletic. So I have confidence in the fact that this ASU offense is able to scheme around that and get a quarterback comfortable, and also know that they don't have to rely on, 150, 200 yards in the air from their quarterback to win a game.
Yeah.
They know that they don't have to do that. They know that. I feel like we're going to see some pretty creative usage of Jeff Sims and Scat. I feel like we're going to see wild Scat. I feel like we're going to basically see Jeff Sims at running back at 1.2.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
No, but that's what I'm saying is I think that there's going to be a lot of creativity, and I think this is going to be one of those games that if ASU wins, I don't know if they're going to get that national recognition and attention that they kind of got after beating Utah, because that was a Friday night game against 6-1. No, but I'm just speaking about like the storylines, like the people who are
haters,
who are
doubters,
watching,
the trolls, the bridge people, the feral people.
I got a question.
I have an answer.
We've done this about every week, but what do you need stats-wise from Jeff Sims to secure an ASU victory on Saturday?
It's a phenomenal question.
0 turnovers. I don't care what else he does.
Wow.
It's more about what Scat does on offense. As long as Jeff Sims doesn't turn the ball over.
This man he's got some heat on his pants today. Jeez. No turnovers, nothing else. Ball game.
I mean, he can't run backwards and take like a 50-yard sack every
you
time.
said just no turnovers. So no turnovers is what it takes in your eyes. From just Jeff Sims specifically, or from the offense?
Oh, I'm talking about just Jeff Sims.
Just Jeffrey.
Jeff Sims. If we're talking about what I need to see, like Cam Skattebo was probably going to need to put up 250 all-purpose.
Cade, I can't do that. But thank you for the offer. I appreciate you. Let's see. What was the question? I lost my train of thought.
What do you need to see stats-wise?
Stats-wise from Jeff Sims.
I need Jeff Sims to go over 80 rush yards. 80 rush yards is all I need. Actually, this is what I'll say. 1 rushing touchdown from Jeff Sims gets it done.
Yeah, rushing touchdown would be nice. It would be nice.
Gets it done.
It'd be nice.
Sign, seal, deliver. Put that thing in the mailbox. There you go. I think that's what gets it done. That fair?
Yeah.
So 1 touchdown, no turnovers.
No turnovers.
Let us know in the
Combine
comments. Oh, and we got a good day.
I got a good day.
We got a really good
day.
Well, not even a good day. Good morning.
Good morning. It's true.
It's going to be a great morning.
That's true. I hope I don't, jump on a post-game show on Saturday afternoon and eat my words, but
I'm going to feed you spaghetti.
Well, but here's the thing. What was one of the storylines all throughout camp? What was it? Like, tell me. Like, I'm not joking.
I was laughing at the chat. What storylines all of camp was quarterback competition.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was actually a
competition.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's 2 NFL quarterbacks on this roster.
Yeah, there's 2 Sunday guys. You're gonna see your second Sunday guy this Saturday. Now, I
hope he makes everybody eat their words.
Oh.
He throws for 400. He scores 5 touchdowns. I hope it's the greatest thing that we've ever seen.
Manifest it. I hope Jeff Sims.
What happens? We made a bet every week. If Jeff Sims throws for 300 yards and
300
3 touchdowns,
yards.
300 yards and 3 touchdowns, 300 total yards.
300 total on, ooh.
So like 200,
so,
200 throwing and 100 rushing. Yeah, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I know, it could be hard for you.
What about what if he gets 150 rushing yards?
Okay, 300 total yards and 3 touchdowns.
If he does that, I'm not going to drink 10 neutrals on a noon post.
What do you do?
I have to celebrate my dad's birthday afterwards, so I'm not
You have to wear your pants as your shirt and your shirt as your pants.
I think we'll get demonetized.
You're not showing nothing. You're wearing your pants on.
No, that doesn't work.
Torso.
How would that work?
We'll cut a hole.
You're not cutting any holes in my clothing, I'll tell you that.
What do you think? What are we thinking, chat? Chat, throw us some.
Give us something.
Throw us some things.
Off-topic question from Zach said, Erik Ruby, did you watch the Troy game? No, I enjoy my life. I like good football.
Did you know there was games on yesterday?
I did.
Yeah, I was watching New Mexico versus LA Tech.
You're such a sicko.
Those are some bad football teams. I will leave it at that. Also, the New Mexico State quarterback, I'm not joking, if you haven't seen this, has the single worst arm tan line that I have ever seen in my entire life. It is absolutely horrible. If you don't believe me, open another tab. Go look it up. Also, throw in what you think Rubis should do.
Not just me. No, screw this. It's both of us. You are not just putting this on me again. I'm not letting you sneak out of this. You snake.
We'll talk about it.
I'm not letting you get out of this.
You call me a snake?
Yeah.
You're just slithering in the grass?
Yeah.
That's what we do, man.
When it comes to bets, you're a snake. Because you go, hey guys, what should Erik do as a bet? And then you shrink away. Shrink away. Nope, you brought it up. Nope, you brought it up.
No.
You brought up the bet this time.
Kyle brought it up.
No, he
Captain
didn't.
Redbeard did it.
I'll take the blame.
Yeah, see? That's a good captain. That's a great
Kyle.
captain
No,
right there.
Okay, so Jeff Sims, I need no turnovers. You need a rushing touchdown. We're both oddly confident that he can get it done, but also acknowledge that this makes it a lot harder. I mean, the line represents that. I'm sure the matchup prediction represents that. But if you can emulate what you saw out of some of the backups from last game, again, completely different position, a lot harder of a position.
Yeah.
But much more experienced. Some good, some bad experience, but experience nonetheless for Jeff Sims.
That's valid. Look, we're going to continue talking about this matchup and the Jeff Sims experience, but we are going to take a quick break.
Neutral. I will not make a 10 neutral bet for our post-game show.
No, because you drink responsibly.
I do drink responsibly.
It's also the afternoon. I drank so responsibly on Saturday.
We were both very responsible drinkers on Saturday. But neutral, it's hard to be responsible. You can do it and you should, but it just tastes so good. The strawberry lemonade neutral is actually maybe one of the best drinks, not just alcoholic drinks, just drinks that I've ever had. It's so dang good. And the thing is, it's not artificial, okay? No, you don't want any of that artificial stuff. Simple ingredients: vodka, seltzer, real juice. Boom. And I like the strawberry lemonade. I think it's my favorite. The other lemonade ones are good. I know you had the blackberry. They also have pineapple, watermelon.
Was fire.
I need to do the blackberry one. I haven't had the blackberry one yet. They had the orange. I like the orange one too as well. Neutral is the perfect pairing for your hopefully going to be 6-1 Arizona State Sun Devils. Keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. A 2024 Anheuser-Busch Neutral is a flavored vodka and carbonation product out of St. Louis, Missouri.
You know what else is deemed being responsible?
Tell me.
Saving money.
That is
Which
true.
is a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do in today's day and age. Things are expensive. But guess what? Circle K, they're doing their part to ensure that you are being responsible when it comes to saving money, guys. They're not only America's thirst shop, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. They're America's savings shop at a point, okay? Because their free membership program, Inner Circle, is helping you save money every single day. Super easy to download. Just open the App Store, literally go download the Inner Circle app, enter your email and phone number, and boom, you are fully enrolled. After that, all you need is your phone number to start getting those deals. You pull up to the pump, you type in your phone number, and you are saving money. Save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups and saving 3 cents per gallon every day after that. Enjoy your member-exclusive beverage deal. Inner Circle members like you can get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Hit the like button.
Please.
Hit the subscribe button.
Please.
Leave a 5-star review.
Please.
And Cade in the chat. I really need to join the diehards. I keep putting it off, but I need the Discord chats for real.
Yeah. You got to be there, man. You got to be there.
You do. It's super easy. Just head to go PHNX.com, literally click the diehard tab, and you can get it done today. You can get it done today. You get your free t-shirt.
By the time we do the next ad read, you could be done.
And you could be in there. You could be in the squad. That play, it's been popping.
I mean, it has. Listen, everybody who's here is a part of the squad, but
yeah, but you know how you have like
friend groups within the friend group.
You know how we like PHNX, big squad.
Yeah,
the Son of a Squad is a little different.
Yeah, we move differently.
We move differently.
Right?
Captain Redbeard shows up to a party, and we're like, oh, he's here.
It's Redbeard.
You know what I'm talking about? But if like Lindsay shows up to the party,
it's different.
Yeah, it's different. It's like, oh yeah,
it's all love, but it's
here.
not part of the Sun.
Nah, it's not. But when, like Sharon shows up, I'm like, oh, Sharon's here.
What's up?
You know. And Kate, it could be like that for you too.
It could be. If you join the Discord.
If you join the Discord. What you look like you got something to say, Captain Redbeard.
Sharon in the chat says I need to set the bet parameters for both of you guys. So
what do you think?
So I was thinking, do you have like an embarrassing shirt or piece of clothing?
No, not really.
You don't have any embarrassing clothing.
I have a Hello Kitty cutoff tank top.
And you said you didn't have any embarrassing
Megan
clothing.
bought it for me, and then I cut the sleeves off of it. I don't wear it.
I have like a gym stringer and some what's it called?
I do have the Speedo, but I will not be wearing that.
I have some ripped jorts.
Ripped jorts?
I have some.
But you can't see that on the stream.
I have some ripped jorts and a gym stringer. We could do a show in Studio
my
A. What's the bet? If he gets 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Okay, but that means we'd have to like bring it the day of. We have to be like prepared for it.
Prepared.
Okay.
If he gets 300 all purpose, we both wear our most embarrassing outfits that we have.
Full outfits.
Yeah, most embarrassing outfits. Yeah.
On the post game?
On the post game show. If we do, we have to put some sort of disclaimer. Because if ASU wins, they're going to be in the top 45. There's going to be hundreds of people.
There's going to be a lot of skin on that.
So what? Mine's going to be a cutoff too.
Imagine that's your first experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Post game.
That's what I'm saying, man. We'll have to figure this out. Maybe
I'm here for it.
Let's brainstorm. Let's brainstorm and let's have something for sure locked in on Friday. Okay. Let's have something for sure locked in on Friday.
Chat, John Cena looking for you, Totri. Give him his shorts back. Dude, I wear those shorts. People don't like them. People don't like those shorts.
Yeah. No, I
wore them to Coachella one year.
If you wore ripped jorts in here, I would roast you.
I can't, though, because I got to go teach after usually.
They would roast you.
Share in the chat. You guys can go to a thrift store and buy embarrassing clothes for each other. Ooh, that would be... That'd be like we'd have to vlog that. Maybe we would do like after the post game show. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We're gonna put our heads together and we'll come on Friday and we'll give out the parameters for the bet.
That's valid. Look, we've talked a lot about Arizona State's offense specifically. Do you want to talk a little bit more about this Cincinnati defense and kind of some names to know if you are an Arizona State fan going into that matchup?
Yeah.
Okay. So linebacker Jared Bartlett leads Cincinnati right now in total tackles, just 31 on the season. Not crazy through 6 games. He is, though, tied for the team lead in sacks with 4, alongside defensive end Eric Phillips, also tied for that team lead in sacks with 4. And then you've got defensive back Josh Minkins leads the team in interceptions with 2, which, hey, guess what? Not impressive. Caleb McCullough, he also has 2. But when you look at the Cincinnati defense kind of as a unit, they do have somebody kind of in each level of that defense that you do need to be slightly aware or at least wary of. But none of these guys, realistically, like, you're not going out there and there isn't a Keyshawn Elliott on the other side of this
there's not
Cincinnati
like a powerhouse.
Defense. No, there's not somebody that you, I think, have to like go out there and game plan against. Jared Bartlett is, I would say, their best defensive player. They do have some big dudes, some big defensive linemen, obviously, to run a 3-3-5. But overall, none of them are just like, they're not game wreckers for me.
No, they don't have even what like Utah had. As a couple of players, you just look at you go, okay. Even Tech to a certain extent had it as well. Kansas, of course, with Kobe and Melo. You know, there's not that high level defensive talent on Cincinnati. Now, you know, they are 4-2. They're not a bad football team. This is not like ASU is just going to walk in there and rush for 300 yards easily. But
I mean, maybe.
No, but ASU does have the facilities, big men, to
me big man,
to get there, right? Have you know that meme? Do you know that meme?
Are you serious?
Do you know that meme?
Do I know that meme?
Do you have the facilities for that meme?
I do. I always have the facilities for that big man.
Yeah.
Do I?
But let's look at what other teams have scored against Cincinnati so far. Okay,
walk me through it.
Towson scored 20. That was a win for Cincy.
Do you know where that is? Do you know where that school is?
No, I have no clue.
Okay, well, that should tell you all you need.
They still scored 20, right? That's week 1. Pitt scored 28, week 2. Miami of Ohio scored 16. Houston scored 0.
Yeah, Houston stinky.
Yeah, Houston's not good. They still scored 0 points. I believe that's the only time that Houston's been held.
Do you score 0 or is it you just don't score?
Well, I mean, look at the other. Oh, they scored 0 in back-to-back.
No. I'm not saying.
I was like, I think that's the only time they've been held to 0. They got held to 0 by Iowa State too.
I'm talking more about the ideology of like.
If you score 0 points, it's more on the offense than it is the defense.
No. You're not understanding what I'm saying here. I'm saying, is it possible to score 0?
For ASU?
No. Dude, I'm just talking about the idea of scoring 0 as a whole.
Oh, like the actual term score.
Yeah, you don't
0
score.
Points.
You can't score 0.
You failed to score.
Yeah, you failed. Yeah, there you go. You failed to score. That's a good way to play it.
Mr. Semantics.
It was curious.
And then 44 points to Tech in a loss. Most points by far they've allowed all season.
Yeah.
And then only 13 points to UCF, but with a true freshman backup quarterback.
They haven't really played too many teteams that jump out.
Best team they've played is Texas Tech and Pitt, and they lost to both of them.
But then you also got to look at Tech, right? And Tech gave up how many points?
41. Yeah, it was 44 to 41.
Arizona State only scored 20-something in that game. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's a game-by-game basis. But
I'm much more worried about Cincinnati's offense, which is why, as much as I think this team
you're more worried about Cincinnati's offense
than their defense.
You have a new quarterback starting.
Yeah, but it's not like a quarterback who's ever played. Yeah, gotta let me finish my point here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll step aside.
I'm trying to cook and I grabbed the salt. You slapped it out of my hands.
Sorry, here, man. Here,
give me the salt.
There you go.
Okay. No, I would be if. Obviously, you don't want any injuries, but if I had to choose like the most important player on, Sam's second, right? So the second most important player on offense versus the second most important player on defense. Like, let's say a Keyshawn was out again, or let's say like Keith Abney, who's on Headspace tonight, is out, right? I'd be much more worried about that because of what Cincinnati's strengths are, which is their passing game, than losing Sam Leavitt, who is not your best player on offense. He's not your most important player on offense. He's second, but Cam Skattebo's still there. I would much rather be in a position where Jeff Sims is at quarterback with Cam Skattebo, and you have a fully healthy, I guess, to what you have at the extent right now, the squad that you have, defense to go up against Cincinnati, than Sam Leavitt out there and an injured secondary like you saw against Tech.
Okay.
Right? I just, for this game specifically, overall, would much rather just have your quarterback. But for this game specifically, I think Sims' strengths play well against Cincinnati's defense. I think that Cam Skattebo plays well against Cincinnati's defense. However, I think the biggest weakness for this ASU defense has been the pass protection game. And Cincinnati's biggest strength is their ability to throw the ball. So for this game specifically, I would rather not have a Sam Leavitt and have a Sims than lose somebody important in the secondary and play the rotating chair game with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on this whole situation.
Okay. To sum it up, more scared of Cincinnati's passing attack because you don't have total faith in the Arizona State pass defense.
And I have a lot less faith in Cincinnati's run defense and a lot more faith, even with Jeff Sims, this is one of his strengths when he's not turning the ball over, in Arizona State's run offense.
Okay.
Comparatively. For this game. Oklahoma State, we'll have a different conversation.
I can hear that. I absolutely hear that. And I do have a really pressing question to ask you.
Oh.
And honestly, the chat too. I want to get the chat's opinion on it. I was able to get Kyle's opinion on it a little bit earlier today. Kind of left me stunned with his answer, to be honest with you.
What a tease.
But we are going to take a quick break. Do you like chicken?
I do.
Do you like pickles?
I don't.
Really?
I don't like pickles.
Do you
We've
like
talked
having
about
fun?
this. I do like having fun.
Do you like alcohol?
I do.
Do you like being able to watch your favorite team play?
I do.
Well, guess what? What if I told you you could do all of those things and you could even hold the pickles over at our friends at Chicken and Pickles?
I would believe you.
Make sure you sign up for our free Cardinals tailgates over at Chicken and Pickle. Spend $30 or more and Chicken and Pickle is going to validate your parking valid on Cardinals home game days only. Look, if you've never been to Chicken and Pickle, it is a great place. First date, fifth date, you're going with the homies, you're going with your fam, you're going with anybody. It doesn't really matter because you're going to go have a great time. Got great food, great vibes, great drinks, great chicken, great pickles. Head to chickenandpickle.com to see all the fun you can have at their Glendale location. And if I didn't make it clear, guys, you can play pickleball. You can play pickleball there all day if you want to.
Yeah, that's kind of like the big thing that you're bearing the lead there.
Well, I love the food so much, to be honest with you. So,
well, maybe you want to take chicken and pickle food on the road. Maybe you're trying to go to a tailgate and you want to bring some nice ice cold drinks, but you just have a cooler that doesn't get the job done.
I don't have the facilities for that.
No, most coolers don't, but Rugged Road absolutely does. I'm going to throw out some buzzwords at you.
Okay.
Have you ever heard about floatability?
I have now.
You have now, because Rugged Road, one of the most unique features of these coolers is that they are always floating upright. They have a lightweight design, unlike other heavy-duty coolers where they just bog you down. They're durable, they're dependable, but here's the big thing. They will keep contents of your cooler cold for up to a week, if not longer.
A week?
That's insane. You could tailgate from game to game and leave the cooler there and it stays cool.
That's crazy.
Insane. So right now, get ready for your summer or fall adventures with Rugged Road coolers. Head to ruggedroadoutdoors.com. Use code PHNX for 10% off your order. Lightweight, durable, always floating upright, perfect on land or in water. Leave that old heavy cooler at home and get yourself a better cooler for the new season. Rugged Road, your ultimate outdoor companion.
Sharon says I need a Bronco. I do need a Bronco.
You do need a
Bronco. I want a Bronco. I need a Bronco. The Bronco needs me. I just, it's,
you and Sean Payton meant to be Broncos.
Yeah, well, don't do that to me. Don't lump me in with that guy. I don't want to be with that guy. Okay. Look, we have talked a lot about the quarterback situation. Jeff Sims, Sam Leavitt, Cincinnati's defense, Arizona State's offense. And now I have a question that has to do with Cincinnati.
All right.
How do you feel about Skyline Chili?
Never had it.
No? Do you know what it is?
I know what it is.
Can we put a poll in the chat?
I'm aware of what Skyline Chili is.
Is Skyline Chili good? Yes or no?
I'm interested to hear about people who have actually tried it. Have you tried it?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, that's fair because you were kind of in that area, I guess.
Yeah, South Bend. It was a couple hours away.
Yeah. So you made the drive just for the.
No, I went for I was in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Not Cincinnati.
I would try. I would try it. I do like chili. I think chili is good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a little disgusting.
Does it?
A little bit.
I feel like it doesn't look that bad.
I guess it's just I haven't seen it a lot. Some of the videos I've seen. What was Kyle's answer that blew your pants off?
Kyle, go ahead.
I didn't know what it was.
You don't know what Skyline? I mean, that makes sense.
I've never heard of it.
That makes sense.
But
dude's been all over the world, doesn't know what Skyline Chili is. That's crazy to me.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
You've been from Alaska to Africa, and you have never once been. Yeah, you've eaten bear, but not Skyline Chili?
The Venn diagram of people who know what Skyline Chili is and people who eat bears are two separate circles.
Okay, let's calm down. He doesn't eat bears.
He ate a bear.
He had bear meat. Very different than somebody that eats bears.
Put it in the chokehold.
No.
Took him down.
Eating this, be like, I eat cows is a weird thing to say. Versus I eat burgers.
Wrong. Huh? You're not technically wrong. You eat the cows.
God, you bug me sometimes.
Do I?
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for our 24-hour stream where we get a live therapist in here.
Well, Jeff Sims has to keep it alive.
Dude, well, okay. I mean, we talked about it earlier this week. This game is like really big, right? And I guess I know they're going to talk about Skyline, but I feel like we can end on like this note.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about Skyline anymore.
Like,
that's fine.
Obviously last week was the biggest win of the season, right?
Yeah.
This would be a worse team. However, the stakes are so high right now because I put out the scenario before.
Sorry.
If you want to go crazy and talk about Big 12 championship, right? You want to talk about getting to the finish line, which for a lot of 5-1 teams isn't a crazy conversation to have. I think it's just crazy considering our initial expectations. But if you want to talk about that end goal, which is to be the best of the best in the Big 12, right? Winning this game is massive because having 2 losses and then going into the Kansas State BYU section of your schedule almost guarantees you're going to drop one of those games. It's going to be hard to win both of those, especially on the road against Kansas State. Not impossible, but it's definitely a tough road, right? So staying undefeated through this week, Oklahoma State and UCF, gives you that cushion to drop one of those 2 games and still be in contention. It's a big game, and Jeff Sims is there in a big moment. And hopefully he could change the narrative surrounding him. And hopefully they don't try to make him do too much. And I don't think they will.
I love that. I love the way you set the scene there. And I think that's a perfect place to end it, to be honest with you guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review. That is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils Show. We will be back on Friday with predictions, factor cap, heat index, hot or not, and so much more. But if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. Follow this guy over here at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K, not being Chicken Little today.
No.
You could also follow Captain Redbeard at KCoop Sports. But in the meantime, guys, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.